Here's coverage of the Irvine Car Meet, which is part of the Drift Tech Day for Formula Drift, which was located at Alton Parkway in Irvine, California. The Irvine Car Meet and Drift Tech Day was a huge event which transpired within that Irvine parking lot. And it's been said around 700 cars actually made an appearance that day. The cars that showed up were from all over, not just local, and they would go there and gather, check out everyone else's cars, mingle, talk. They had some events there too. It's not a formal car show, so it was really just a huge car meet. They had like some kind of ticket giveaway. They had some models show up, so you could line up, get their autograph, take photos if you wanted to. There's food trucks as well. Overall, it was a very huge event that just a gathering. So it's like an informal gathering because it's not quite a car show, but you get to see just a variety of cars. Whole lot of JDM cars, obviously, but you will see some exotic cars as well here and there. And of course, unique builds, unique modifications. It was just a huge gathering where everybody would just hang out and chill. So as you walk around, you get to see a variety of cars. Like here, you see like an old school GTR with Volks, which is really cool because you don't see much of those sometimes in these car meets, but here you do. But here and there you'll see like an MR2, which is getting kind of rare because there's not too many out there that are modified. And so whenever I have a chance, I try to video that. I mean, it doesn't matter what they have, just to represent other MR2s because it's sort of rare to find them now. Then of course you'll see other cars, maybe with bright wheels, bright paint job, some old school cars, very unique. So it's really cool to see these different types of builds.
He's got the wing, the veil side wing, that he's getting a couple parts.
So it's rare to see that, especially with that type of kit, a wide body, because it's rare, it's expensive, obviously, and also even just the lights too. The lights are modified. It's not something that other NSX owners may necessarily do. I don't know, but for someone like this build, it's pretty unique. It's different. It's not something that you will find in many places. Miata's also made a showing. There's always Miatas at these car meets, which is cool, because it adds different feeling. Like Miatas that are slammed, just making an appearance, which is cool, Like this one, super low with a hard top. And then of course there's 240s. 240s is probably a very common JDM car that you would see at these meets. Something favored by those who do the drifting, but these 240s are more just for chill, I guess for going to the car meets, although this one is completely stripped as well. So you just never know what they drive these cars for. Here's a convertible 240, different type of build, super low, got a cage in the back. This is the owner's own style, so can't really say much about that. It's really just them expressing themselves and doing what they do. Here's one with a swap, with a Jay-Z swap, S14, which is also a 240, but with a whole different look to it because it doesn't have the pop-up lights. So you'll see these types of cars there. making an appearance. And yeah, this one is not stripped, obviously. So this is a car that I've seen at a few different events. Here's another 240. So there's just a whole lot of 240s at car meets like this. This one has a different type of wheels. Not quite sure what those wheels are, but again, you know, everyone has their own flavor. So there's a 240 representing and making an appearance at the Irvine Meet. S2Ks, that's also something fairly common at these car meets, car shows. This one is fairly stock, but there are a few others that are modified, like this one with a hard top and a wide body. So you'll see these types of builds. Here's another one with obviously has more stuff on it. This is the Super Mario theme going on. Powder coated his cover right there, valve cover. And this is more, I suppose that this would be more considered for show type of S2000 with the green theme. Wide body as well with the fender flares and the green Volks. Again, the GTRs also made an appearance. There were quite a few GTRs that showed up. It was really nice to see those cars, especially back when this whole thing started, because the GTRs are just cars that are inaccessible for many of us. So to see them anywhere, even these days, is really cool. So again, just walking around the meet, because it happened. We stayed there for a few hours, and a lot of cars did stick around. But there were more cars that came in, and some cars that left. But overall, they did stick around. So it was really cool. It was like eye candy of cars. So you walk around, see the Supra making an appearance. This Porsche, I see it in a few different shows. Another Supra, RX-7s. And obviously the FRSs, BRZs were just all over the place. They had some booths there, but not much. Maybe like just 2 or 3 main booths by the HQ where everyone was chilling. R8 Belissa, which I did talk to. I'm gonna try to search for that interview I have. I can't seem to find it because a lot of this footage has been here for a while, but I did have a chat with her, and so I'm gonna try to look for that footage and see if I could locate it for you guys. Again, just walking around the meet, and it was a hot day, but it's not as hot as today. If they had this meet nowadays, it would be super hot. I don't know if I could hang being there all day. But back then, the heat wasn't unbearable like it is now. RX-7s were there. This car was pretty unique with a hoonigan theme. This guy too, when this car was driving around, it was really loud. I don't think this guy has cats on his car. This car is not even local, so I believe that this car is more for function, and obviously may even be for drifting. So quite a few RX-7s showed up at this meet, and a whole lot of other cars. And here's an RX-7 which had a V8 motor. You could tell just by listening to the grumble. So you see these types of builds at the meet, which is really cool. And this guy making an appearance with his V8 RX-7. the GT86 is probably one of the most represented car at these meets, just because there were so many of them. Oh well, actually that's just because they just started to come out, and it's actually one of the reasons why these tuner events started to pick up again, because of these cars, because of the rise of the FRS and the GTS in the tuner circuit, if you will. So here, this one's boosted, and this car was one of the booth cars here. Then there's also the M1, what's the M1 FRS with the big old dragon sticker on the hood and the giant tail. And this guy obviously didn't care about how it looks, because some of the because it's completely stripped, and as you can see right here, they're making fun of the toe, the front toe.
That's kind of low budget, man. You did that last night, huh? Yeah. Yell at your team manager. Hey, also, the toe, it matches the front, right? The toe, it matches the front.
The Civics, obviously something that is part of the history of tuners, so there's always going to be a lot of Civics everywhere, and it's no exception going to this event. A lot of the old school Civics now, and this particular one just had his hood open, so I figured I'd take a look. It was unique because it had the purple wheels, and so, but again, this is the Civic crew, which just adds a little more variety to the event overall.
That's the kind of I used to live in. I used to live at Liquor in LaSalle, right there, right in front of you know where the little liquor and the Ace is at? Yeah.
The drift cars are obviously the reason why we go to this huge drift tech meet, even though there's a whole lot of nice local cars outside. It's really all about the drift cars making an appearance here at this event, because these cars are getting ready to compete with each other. So this is the place where they're getting inspected. Right here you see the AE86 put on the lift. This is the car that they're looking at right now for inspection, just making sure that everything is up to specs in terms of the requirements that they have for drifting. This place is not open to, this is a restricted area, so this place is not open to the public, and those who are checking out the cars are supposed to be just those who are directly involved with each of the drift car. That's why you see this guy right here telling the other drift drivers to move away so that they don't get to see what's underneath the car. Out here you see some more drift cars like this 240, which is cool as well. Again, this is I believe it's a S15, so you don't see much of those. These drift cars are still in the tow truck, just getting ready to be unloaded. So here you get a glimpse of some of the variety of drift cars that were competing at the time. Some American cars, some JDM, this is SC300 or so. You see a lot of these types of cars here getting ready for inspection. I think that this is tech day, right? Or at least just making an appearance. They're all just in the front parking lot getting ready to be inspected, and it gives like the spectator an opportunity to see all these drift cars just lined up right outside, and you get to see it up close and personal. You know, 'cause these are the cars that are competing. Here's another 240 S13. I believe it has that one. I've seen a few times as well. Has like a V8. So you see families coming here and just checking out the cars. You got kids. It was also a family-friendly event. Everyone had an opportunity to check out the cars. Obviously with kids, they like looking at bright wheels, bright paint. It's unique to see like an A86, right, with this whole metallic green, and then the 240 with blue and pink with the engine bay. So it's just a good variety of drift cars, and people getting an opportunity to check out these cars in person. It's really just people checking out the cars, hanging out, talking, and just chilling, just waiting for their turn to get checked out. So this was like a whole day event for them. And then at the same time, they have the car meet, or the cars just kicking back or chilling in the parking lot and checking each other out, or checking out each other's cars, and also checking out the drift cars that came. These are not show cars. These are cars that are competing for a Formula Drift.
Oh my God. He's holding the camera. I'm like, no. I put it on vlog. I got it on my phone. Go. Upload. Hey.
The drift cars are getting ready to compete with each other, and so that area is sort of contradictory to the chill side, where people are just hanging out with their cars and just enjoying everybody and everyone's build. Taking a break from the drift cars and the cars in the parking lot, we head down to the model booth, where we see the models mingling with everybody and even saying hello to the doggies. And it's really a place where the models take photos with each other, share photos with each other, and just a place to chill underneath that tent. Obviously, there are spectators that have lined up right here and just waiting for their turn to say hello to the models, maybe take photos with them. Also have a chance to have autograph signed of photos and posters here at the model booth. So this is just another way to spend time in a big event like this. It's not just always about the cars, but it's also about saying hello to the models, taking photos, and getting signed autographs. And obviously, check out the drift cars that was going to be competing for that season. Talk to some of the drift drivers, even if they wanted to. So it's just this really giant car meet.
Do you want a calendar also?
Yeah.
But again, you know, you see a lot of old school repping here with a Cressida and a whole lot of other cars. So here's a Lamborghini making an appearance, which is definitely unique because, again, this is mostly JDMs, and then you see something like this, it just obviously stands out. So after checking out all the cars in the parking lot, all the different builds, the different models, the old school, the new school, and everything else in between, it's almost time to go. But this guy was about to leave, but he was actually nice enough to pop his hood again back open just so I can get a glimpse of what he had, which is cool. So you meet a lot of people like that who are just there to share their cars and what they have. Well, with over 700 cars making an appearance at this Irvine Tech Meet, there was definitely a lot to look at, a lot of people to talk to, a lot of builds to admire, and of course, all the drift cars to see in person. So there you have it, the Irvine Car Meet and Drift Tech Day over at Irvine, California.